Participating in the 2016-15 session of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. I am GENOCIDAL Xelup, Director General for the National Association for the Advancement of Indigenous People, located in Northeast Indian Country, America. NAAIP is a United Nations registered IPO and was established by recognized and unrecognized Aborigine and Native Americans, along with signatories foreign and domestic. I'm thankful for this opportunity, Honorable Chair. On the topic of Indigenous peoples' agenda addressing the first 6 steps, as I'm calling them, Indigenous peoples must first be recognized by colonizing societies as members of the human family. And the process of recognition must come from the top of societal leadership. In the United States, Indigenous people, American Aborigine, are not even allowed the basic right to identity and are labeled as commercial constructs, subjects, property. So the answer to today's topic of steps is the same for the questions which have been asked over by this convening body. The statement is the same. Before we can begin to speak about the process or a process to address these steps for Indigenous people, we must, as World Indigenous Aborigine people, along with the United Nations countries, demand the United States reform policies of misidentification, apartheid, and environmental racism against the Indigenous people of America. NAAIP 2015 accomplishments and intent for 2016 through 2017 shall further embrace and assist individuals who are part of reclaiming their tribal cultural identity, implementing sustainable development platforms, while actively assisting members in securing justice and remedy in many areas of their existence, including land claims, custody, and protection of tribal children from covert adoption and placement outside the Indigenous community. Last week, NAAIP registered 16 delegates, all of whom stood on this floor awaiting an opportunity to demand justice, and the ears of justice ignored their presence. So today, I, Tushka, standing there, Xelup, speak in their stead. In 2015, when we attended our first session, we were not allowed to make a statement. So this year, we brought NAAIP members from 12 different historical tribes from Northeast America, as well as tribal leaders from Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, to help in making a visual statement. It is unfortunate that we must attend this forum to visually show and say to the world, we, the dark Aborigine of America, are still here. The people who joined me last week but are absent today were bloodline family descendants of first contact American Indian principal leader Massasoit Osamequin. Massasoit Osamequin signed the first treaty with King James, allowing the Europeans access to the lands of America. Today, by order of royal decree from Sagamore William Winds of Thunder Guy, the Treaty of King James and the Massasoit is hereby rescinded. The direct descendants of the first contact Indigenous people in America are not allowed to be recognized as who they are, but instead are forced to accept methods of paper genocide, misclassification, and forced U.S. citizenship assimilated as African American and other false identities. The United States must allow Indigenous right to identity for the American Aborigine. The United States, being primary creator of the United Nations Charter in 1945, must be encouraged by the member nations and supporters of the United Nations to change its racist policies. These policies have continued to violate the rights of millions of ignored and misclassified American Aborigine Indigenous people. We are not killed in the woods and forests like the people of West Papua or Brazil. We are killed in the streets in broad daylight, and nothing is done about the killings in the street in broad daylight. That is my statement. Thank you.